India's top court has ruled that gender rights equal human rights, and that means that transgender individuals now have protected rights in India, and that's absolutely great news, especially considering that there are nearly 3 million transgender people living in India right now. Now, the court's decision will impact these millions of people, and it will apply to individuals who have acquired the physical characteristics of the opposite sex or present themselves in a way that does not correspond with their sex at birth. So that's good news, because that means it doesn't matter whether or not you've gone through any surgery. If you identify as a male or female, that's what you get to use in any type of document, government document.
Mm-hmm. That's very forward-thinking. God bless India for that.
Absolutely.
And so that's great news, and it's nice to have good news every once in a while in the world. And so we've been hearing a lot of, unfortunately, negative stories in India. Of course, everybody's concerned about the rape stories that are coming out of India. But look at this, even politicians doing the right thing in India.
So I like that they're being fairly liberal when it comes to issues that impact transgender people, but they still have a ban on gay sex. So that's another really interesting element of this story.
Slightly ironic, to say the least, yes. So it's not like, congratulations, we won. India is progressive in every way, but also in some ways they're far more progressive than other countries, and at least have given rights here that most countries deny. So hey, today we'll take the good news. That's
Absolutely.
Terrific.
So one thing that this reminded me of was Pat Robertson. Because remember, Pat Robertson is supportive of the transgender community. I mean, relatively supportive and relative to other conservatives. He says don't judge them, whatever. And then when it comes to gay people, he's like, no, they're terrible. They're going to hell.
So you've really hit on something very interesting. Because now that you put those two things together, in Turkey, there's this similar sentiment, like being gay, unacceptable, ridiculous, right? But there's all these transgender singers, and there have been for decades, right? And I saw one in a summer residence area outside of Istanbul. They have these places where people go, and he was in that town, and all the guys went nuts for him. Or her at that point, right? And so they're trying to kiss her, and all these like macho men. Yeah.
What?
And I was like 16 or something. I'm like, does not compute. What is going on, right? So I think that there's this like sense that we can't quite wrap our mind around. Like, gay is unacceptable, but if she looks good, let's get it on.
That's amazing. I'm really curious about that as well. Because you're seeing it in India, you see it with Pat Robertson, you see it in Turkey. I like it. I would much rather have, protections and rights and everything for the transgender community than not. But I'm wondering why that double standard exists in like conservative communities.
It's the same thing as the Sopranos were talking about. Like, when you're in jail, that doesn't count. Right? So like, it's not that these guys wouldn't do it. Okay, they're just saying like, but it's under the wrong circumstances. Then that's terrible. Under my circumstances, come on, she was kind of pretty.